So the second half of my trip to the US involved going to Florida, and I knew there'd be a lot of water, but I just didn't anticipate how much water there was. Flying over it, it was just amazing because my idea of like what a parody of Florida would be, being like just riddled with unnecessary amount of water, was actually what it was. Back in Perth, right, if there's like a reasonable body of water, we make a park around it, and children go there to play. Here, water is precious. There, they're just like, oh, well, we can't have a basement because if we dig too deep, there's just gonna be so much water. My friend was all, look out for the Zika virus, and I was like, haha, I think you're joking. And then I got bit by a mosquito, and she was like, you might have Zika now. It's like, what? She's like, yeah, no, yeah, I told you to get like bug repellent. I was like, I won't have Zika? I went to Disneyworld because I went to Florida and I'm contractually obligated to do so. It's part of like the customs entry form when you enter the state. Are you going to Disneyworld? Why aren't you going to Disney World? I think you should go see Disney World. Here is how you book tickets to Disney World. The usual. Also, I went to Florida to see one of my best friends ever, and naturally, as a resident of Florida, she had to do her annual migration to Disney World to keep her residency, so thankfully the two coincided. We've also been friends online for like 5 years, and this is the first time we met, and when I got into a car at the airport, I noticed that she had a taser in her bag, and at first it's like, did you bring that in case I was a murderer? No, it wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with me. She just always has it. Turns out she also doesn't need a permit. She just owns it. She just has one. And she's managed to get it past security at Disney World multiple times. Turns out that's a thing. And then naturally asked her, hey, what a great idea. What if we film me getting tased in slow motion? And she's just like, no. She's just against fun. She doesn't like roller coasters. She doesn't tase me for the views. She didn't come out to my spoken word poetry performance in some random like hippie cafe. Like, it's just ridiculous. All three of the best ideas you could possibly have. If we weren't like the same team on Pokemon Go, our friendship would be damaged. Team Instinct for life. She decided not to take her taser to Disney World. She decided to brave those crowds all by herself, unarmed. Oh. It was a bit hit and miss there for a while. It was pretty dangerous, but we managed. We survived Disney. How many of you can say the same? Comment down below. What's your Disney World survival story? At Disney World, I saw the most American thing ever. Okay, it was a man wearing a Donald Trump shirt that said "Make America Great Again," and on his arm was the Second Amendment tattooed. That is so, oh my goodness. Like, the artwork was a parchment and everything. It wasn't just like the words, it was a whole thing. I was tempted just to be like, hey man, can I have a selfie just to document this weird, scary Donald Trump man? Do you think like he goes to Disney World just to whisper racist things into children's ears just for fun? We stockpile guns to defend ourselves and the blacks. Ah, mommy, help! The strange man is making me uncomfortable! You stay away from my son and positions of office, you terrible, terrible man! I didn't see any alligators in the wild, or retirees. I feel like I've been cheated. That's like if an American came to Australia and didn't see any kangaroos or bogans. Like, that's what our individual places are famous for. I did see some in an exhibit at Busch Gardens in the zoo section. Why they had old people in a cage, I don't know. Speaking of Busch Gardens, I'm very bad at Googling things. Somehow, I Googled it, I read information, and I thought it was an actual botanical park. It's an amusement park. There are roller coasters. I don't know how I got those two confused. I mean, I was still gonna go. I was just like, oh yeah, botanical garden sounds nice and relaxing. I'll look at some pretty flowers. No, I went on several roller coasters and this free fall ride that like you just drop down straight towards the ground and plummet at 100 kilometers per hour. Very different experiences to what I was expecting. My impression from Orlando Airport is that like they really want you to spend lots of money doing amusement park things, whereas all I did in Orlando was things like IHOP, mini golf, and 50% of Disney World. I think there's more for me to come back and see. Maybe next year. Goodbye, YouTube. Oh, she's just against fun. She doesn't like roller coasters. She doesn't want to taste me. Whoa. And New York's are a bit more like, don't litter, because rats will come and trash will set on fire and everyone will hate you and cause train delays, and also don't sexually harass people. You should report that. That shouldn't be happening. He was a lonely security agent. She was a high-profile smuggler. Their worlds could not be more opposing, but as they say, opposites attract. He couldn't wait to give her full-body scanning. In more ways than one.